and we'd like to bring in the Governor of Bangkok, Sukhumpan Boripat, onto the line with us right now. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for taking your time talking to us tonight. Now, can you give us a brief plan to prevent the water entering Bangkok so far that you have for the city?
Let just me sum it up like this.
Okay.
There's a lot of water around, but the situation is still manageable. But the system, the flood prevention and mitigation system that we have been developing over the last 28 years is a very good one. But given the volume, the sheer volume of water being around upstream, we have to be very careful and we have to take all precautions. And this means that we have to build up flood defense barriers outside city limits in the north and in the west. In the north in Pathum Thani province and in the west in Nakhon Pathom province with the kind cooperation of provincial authorities and also, of course, with the kind cooperation from the government and the armed forces.
Right. According to reports, it says that the BMA has prepared evacuation centers. Could you tell us whereabout are they and how many evacuation camps have been set up?
As I said, I have to take all precautions. I don't think we're going to need to evacuate most of the city, but I'm not going to be caught unaware. So what I've done is to instruct all 50 district chiefs to make contingency plans for evacuation, which include, evacuation routes, means of evacuation, ways and means of looking after those evacuated, and so on. There are numerous centers that are designated throughout Bangkok. Simply because we have all the facilities. We have 436 schools, which are at the moment on vacation. We have many vocational training centers, and so we're not short of places which we could use for evacuation centers. And all these places have their own kitchens and their own personnel for looking after anyone who have to be evacuated. So all the evacuation plans are in place. But I'm more worried by the fact that we Thais don't like to leave our homes, even under very dire exigencies. We Thais are very worried about leaving our things behind, our homes behind. So when the time comes, I think that the main challenge is not to find proper evacuation routes and evacuation means and evacuation centers, but the real challenge will be to persuade people to leave their homes.
Right.
Governor, are there any measures taken to help to assist the tourists and foreigners that are here in Thailand, and how would you boost the confidence so that tell them that this situation is still manageable?
At the moment, there are only two obvious high-risk areas. One area includes 27 communities who live on riverside and on canal side, communities which lie outside the flood walls. Simply, they're outside our flood walls simply because they have not given their consent for us to build flood walls. Their houses are illegally built and illegally located, and but we need their consent to be able to build flood walls. The other area that we are concerned with is Eastern Bangkok, which is definitely underwater right now and could be more threatened if the Basak Dam, greater volume of water is drained from the Basak Dam, which is overflowing. It is overflowing at 130, 140% of its capacity. So the government needs to release water from the Basak Dam, and if not controlled and not managed properly, it will affect Eastern Bangkok. These are the two high-risk areas, the obvious high-risk areas. We have taken all precautions to look after the people in these areas.
Right.
And I think most foreigners live in Sukhumvit, live and work in the Sukhumvit area, Plantit area, Idom, Sathorn area. So I think they're fairly safe. They're fairly safe.
I see. Thank you so much, Governor, for taking your time, giving us all these details.
Yeah, you're welcome.